Hello friends, it's Rachel Archelaus, and today we're going to talk about something really fun. So I fancy myself a bit of a group being because of the way I feel about myself, because of the experiences that I've had that have shown that to me. And so I'll talk about how I knew I was a group being and what might make that interesting or different, so that you can see maybe if you are a group being or just kind of get a feel for what it's like. So basically, I have always had the ability to talk to spirits all my life. And as a teen, I kind of developed this team of spirits that were always around that I would talk to. And they were from different places. Some were angels, some were Pleiadians, some were Zetas, some were all kinds of different things. I didn't know what all of them were specifically at the time, and I just knew that some were better for some things than others. Like, I would talk to the Pleiadians about certain things and the angels about certain things. They were all very helpful in their own way. And I also had like a regular spirit guide, if you will, that was just kind of like a regular person, would have a lot of fun with me and laugh at me a lot because I took this stuff way too seriously. So a lot of people feel like they have spirit guides or a spirit team, and I was no different. And then I was living in Arizona, maybe 6 years ago. I had this experience where all of these beings who were my counsel, I felt like, they were outside of me. I could talk to them, right? And just like anyone else, like if there was a person standing over there, we could have a conversation. But then I had this experience that was very disorienting and has been since called a descension of spirit, where those beings that I felt like were like on the shelf over there or standing over there outside of me, they came into my body. Now, they were already there, but that was the experience, that was the perception that I had and the feeling in my body that I had. So basically, they went from being over there to in here, and I could still isolate them and like feel like I was talking to my angels or my Pleiadians, but it was as if I was rearranging myself in order to do that. And you guys experience that here with Intimate Alien. She's a Pleiadian, and I can let her come through, but it's still in me. It's not like she leaves my body and then talks to you, because she wouldn't have a body if that was the case. That process, though, was very disorienting. I felt like I was having an identity crisis. That's the only way I could have put it. And I talked about it in a conversation with Carrie, which I'll link here for you. But it was like I had no clue who I was anymore. I didn't know. I was so out of it, and my partner was on a vacation at the time, and I really didn't know what to do. I was really foggy, and I knew that that experience happened, but it was like, now who am I? I don't know what's going on. And I did feel very big. I felt like my energy wasn't able to be contained within my body. It felt like I was carrying around all this extra weight and energy, and it was like I was this big instead of it feeling comfortable, because we're huge vibrational beings all the time, but we're comfortable with what we're calibrated to, like we don't normally feel like we're bigger than our bodies in an uncomfortable way. So anyway, that lasted for about a week, and then it became more normal, and I just felt like I am a we now. I'm we, and this is pretty neat, and I just got used to it. Nothing really changed, like my personality didn't really change because I was already them, but I just had more capacity on Earth to be able to embody that energy. Instead of my cup being this big and having my water overflow, my cup grew, and so everybody was able to fit in the cup. That's how I look at it anyway. And I had never heard of Descension of Spirit, but somebody that I talked to at the time mentioned that, so I looked it up, and that's what it is. Your capacity to be embodied here grows, and so you're able to kind of download more of your own energy And that was awesome. I loved that. I went through life kind of referring to myself as a group being from then on, and it feels really comfortable. It's not a title that anyone gave me. It just felt right to me. And that's how I know that, it's my experience. Like, nobody else needs to validate that for me. It doesn't matter what it means to someone else. Because of that, though, and because of my ability to then talk about it and like explain to my friends and my clients what was going on with me, they were able to notice when different energies were more present. Like my friend Carrie is able to notice when I'm being more angelic, or when Intimate Alien is really like talking through me. Because as a whole, I'm pretty neutral, right? Like I have a very even-keeled, neutral energy. Intimate Alien is a lot more bubbly and excited than I am. My angelics are so beautifully, unconditionally loving. Like I can even tell when I move into different territories. And I don't even know some of the beings that are in me. There are these little blue things that I don't really have a lot of contact with. I don't really think to have contact with at the moment, so it's all good, It's like you don't necessarily know what your spleen looks and feels like, but it's there and it's working, so it doesn't really matter. So that's been my experience of life for the last few years, of being conscious, of being a group, and being able to bring different aspects of me in and out whenever I want to, and to lean on them. But there was something that I really wanted to experience more of, and that was a greater integration in more of my life. When I'm hiking out in nature, I'm fully turned on and present and feeling amazing. And in certain parts of my work and with certain people, I'm fully turned on and feeling amazing. But I want more of that. I wanted my whole life to feel completely in sync with the whole of my being. I just started calling it orgasmic integration, and a couple of my friends really resonate with that, right? So if you've ever felt like, oh, I'm using all of myself, I'm completely present, I'm completely here, this is the best I've ever felt, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so I had that desire to feel that way and to create my life based around that feeling. And as you know, whatever you focus on expands. And so that's actually happening now. Like I feel like all of the bits of me that are different, like the unconditional loving angels and the really super bubbly and outgoing and expressive Pleiadians and the very strategic and beautifully simple and smart Zetas, like all of that can come together and live and be fully present. And that's like my new frontier. So I'm stepping into that, and that's manifesting in amazing ways in my life. And I wanted to add that in because first, we change our vibration. That allowed me to grow my capacity to be more embodied. And that embodiment is now allowing me to expand my work, my day-to-day life, right? To embody even more joy, even more expression, even more harmony with what I really am. It's totally worth it to do your daily practices, to do your meditation, to feel better, to do those things that seem like they're not gonna add up to anything, but they really, really do. Maybe you're not gonna find that you're a group being, but you will find a more resonant, amazing, integrated, embodied part of yourself that's gonna feel just as good. I don't know if this really gave you the feeling of what it's like to be a group being, but if you have any questions, you can ask, and I'm really happy to talk about it. I think it's because it's my experience, and therefore I don't know what anything else really feels like. Because I've always been this way, I've had more experiences of being conscious of it, but it hasn't really changed who I am. So I'm open to talk about it more if you're interested, but let me know what you want to know. We'll go there. So thanks for watching, and I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.